this gentleman. So please help me acknowledge the greatest motivational speaker in the world. No doubt about it. Accurate of all over the world. You know, what he said at the beginning is true. I was with him last week having lunch, and the waiter came up and he said, "Meet my brother from another mother." And I said, "But he's the better looking." The waiter liked that. The waiter liked that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here tonight because I started my life broke, full of despair, and trapped in my circumstances. If you ever felt that way, if you have, please raise your hand. When I was a young man, I had an experience that changed my life. And maybe some of you will have these experiences. Maybe it'll happen tonight. I hope it does. But I was broke, and I went to a fast food restaurant. I grew up outside of Detroit, Michigan, and I went to a fast food restaurant, Hardee's. I don't even know if these places still exist. And Hardee's had a brown bag special, thankfully. For $2.07, you could have a hamburger, French fries, and a soda. Well, I ordered the brown bag special. I drove around to the drive-thru window with a big smile because I only had $2.05. I gave the nice lady $2.05 with a smile. Now, how many of you in this room would give me the food and let me go on my way? Right? That didn't happen to me. What happened to me was that she looked at the $2.05. She looked back at me. I smiled, and she said, and I'll never forget this, "You're 2 pennies short." Oh. And she took the food back. Oh. Now, I was starving. That food was in my car. I felt it in my hands. My car smelled like a hamburger. And she took it back. I was crushed. I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but just like the world is against me. And why? I'm a good person. I play by the rules. I work hard. Why does this happen to me? So I remember, like it was yesterday, I drove my car down the street to a vacant lot. I got out of my car, and I got down on the ground. And I looked up to the sky, and I said, "Please, whatever it takes, whatever I have to do, I don't ever want to live like this again." And I never did. I never did because I made a commitment that day. You hear less talk about this, but I made a commitment to myself. I made a commitment to my life. I made a commitment that I wasn't going to let people around me stop me. And I had good people around me, but they had no dreams. I made a commitment that day that I would never go back to that kind of life. And it took a lot of hard work. The things that Les said about me at the beginning, which I very much appreciate, I have done in my life, and I feel very grateful that I went on and did a lot of things I want to tell you about. But that was the day that I decided to change my life forever. I'm convinced that no matter who you are, where you come from, you have something in your heart you know you want to do. And until you reach the point I reached where you said, "I've had enough. I'm not going to live like this anymore. I don't care what the price is. I don't care where I have to go, where I have to live, what I have to do. I'm getting out of this." That's what I did. Was it easy? Absolutely not. I felt better about myself. I got up, I went back to my normal life, and I was walking taller, like many of you do. I feel better. I have goals. I feel empowered. I'm passionate. I'm going to go someplace. And my friend said, yeah. Pass the soda. Right? They can't see it. They can't see it. You see it. It's your vision. It's your dream. Don't expect others to see it. That's one thing I had to learn. And I was feeling better about myself, working hard in life, and sometimes when you just have the effort and you push, people will help you. And somebody helped me. It gave me a cassette tape called The Power of a Larger Vision. This all relates back to this gentleman right here. I put this tape in. I didn't know what to expect. I'd never heard a speaker before. At this point, I'm late in my college career, broke, working for my family at a pizza business that wasn't making any money, so they couldn't pay me. People used to actually, in the snow, I would drive 10 miles in the snow to deliver their pizza, and they would give me a nickel tip. And you ask yourself when this happens, where am I in the world, right? So I got this tape, and I started listening to it, and I remember a phrase from this tape was, be careful and don't share your goals and your dreams with everyone around you, like your family and your friends, because they will not be able to see it. They might love you, they might care about you, they might want the best for you, but they can't see what you see. And what you see in your heart and in your soul is what you have to go after, with every bit of tenacity you have in you. And so that's what I did. And was it easy? Absolutely not. Did I fail many times? Absolutely. Was I humiliated many times? I came from a small town in Michigan. I lived in a mobile home growing up. I ended up working for Rupert Murdoch in New York City. Do you think you can do that without being humiliated along the way? Does not happen. I'll tell you one story that I still get chills when I think about it. I was in Washington, D.C. working as a lawyer. And I was invited to a pool party. Where I come from, you wear a bathing suit and t-shirt, you go to a pool party. Some of you already know where I'm going. So I thought I should look respectable because these were very influential people. When I was around them, I thought to myself, these are the people I always aspired to be around and be. Now I found out later that shouldn't always be the case, but still. So I went to this party. And as I'm walking up, I see all these gentlemen in coats and ties and nice slacks and expensive shoes. And I have on khakis and a t-shirt. Once you're there, there's nothing you can do, right? You ever been in that situation? You're so embarrassed, but you're stuck, right? I couldn't do anything. A pool party? You gather around a pool and you eat food and drink. Nobody swims at these parties.
I'd have done what you did.
I thought, hey, this is great. I'll work on my tan. I'll take my shirt off. We'll go in the pool. Nobody goes in the pool. They don't even put their hand in the pool. They don't touch the pool. They stand around, they drink, and they eat, and they talk politics. So I was embarrassed. And the person hosting the party knew I was embarrassed, so he gave me a sport jacket. Now, it didn't fit, but he gave it to me. So I could fit in. I could mull around with the others, and they wouldn't be able to tell that here's this little guy from a small town in Michigan that's in a mobile home. Probably shouldn't even be in our circles over here, right? It didn't fit, but I wore it. And it was fine until we had dinner. And I sat down at dinner, and someone said, could you please pass whatever it was? And I reached for that, whatever it was, and the loudest tear you ever heard in your life came out. I tore the arm right off that sport jacket. I was humiliated. But even then, I'd go out to my car, I would listen to a speaker. Most of the time it was Les Brown, I listened to many others. I would go home, I would go to bed with this man every night. Right? You have to have those positive thoughts coming into your head because you will go out in the world and people will crush you. They will. We all know it. Right? Even if you're trying to do something good, you tell someone your goal, I'm going to do ABC, and they go, really? Come on. You're so-and-so from such and such. Right? That's how they are. You can't give up on yourself. You never give up on yourself. So I didn't. I went on and I worked very hard. As Les mentioned, I'm a lawyer. I ended up working for several media companies, working for the president of ABC Television. And literally 4 years ago, I was built from the ground up a $1 billion sales channel for DirecTV. Now, no one had ever done that before at that company, and I did it for 4 years. When I arrived, they gave me two people, two misfits, bad news bears. They laughed at me and they said, we're going to give this guy this part of the business. No one's ever been able to do anything with this. He's going to fail. Well, I didn't fail. I kept pushing and I did something Les said a few minutes ago. I never let go of the vision of what I wanted. I never let go. Were there times when if you talked to me, you didn't think I had anything going for me and I wasn't a positive thinker? Absolutely. A lot of times. But I never gave up. and I never stopped holding the vision. So I'm going to tell you, there are 3 things I want to leave you with tonight that kept me going. In addition to always listening to positive material, reading books, studying, always yearning for more encouragement, because you know what you have to do. I'm convinced. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I passed the bar exam. But I knew what I had to do, and I wouldn't give up on it until I did. So, first thing I would tell you, 3 things. First thing is, you have to be honest with yourself. I went to law school. I never wanted to be a lawyer. My friends that went to law school with me, they're still lawyers. They're the most unhappy group of people I've ever met in my life. The only time they smile is when they give you their card and they go, I'm a lawyer. Right? That's what's funny about law school. People go, you're in law school, and they smile. And they go, you're going to be a lawyer, and they look at the floor. Because nobody likes lawyers, but you do need them. We rank right above used car salesmen, I guess they say. But I knew I didn't want to be a lawyer. And I was honest with myself in school and said, I'm just here to learn, soak this information up. I think it'll make me be a better business person. So I would tell you, be honest with yourself and what you want. Sometimes what you want might sound crazy to others, but it's yours. I believe the Creator put in each of our hearts something we ought to be doing. We're not all meant to be President of the United States, CEO of this, head of that. We have something in here we're supposed to bring to the world. Some unique talent and ability that only you have, and you know what it is. I know you do. I don't have to know you to know that you do. Number 2, only you control your circumstances and your mind. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else can take that from you. There may be circumstances and things that happen to you that come into your life and you say to yourself, I don't want these. I didn't invite this into my life. It happened. The real thing you have to ask yourself is, what do you do next? Because ultimately, you control your circumstances and your mind. Don't ever forget that. That is one of the toughest ones I had to learn, and to this day still internalize, because we go out into the world, we have our shields, our goals, our visions, and we come up against people that might not be as enthusiastic about what we're trying to do. You have to keep control of your circumstances. Remember, you control you. You are the CEO of you. And you always will be. Nobody can ever take that from you. Last thing I would say is, you have to take action. Now, I'm going to be writing a lot more about the first step to greatness, because I believe in my heart that it's the first step that changes your life. I know a lot of people that won't act because they plan their goals, they say what they want to do. They can't see from here until the end goal. They can't see it. They can't internalize it. They don't feel it. It confuses them. How am I going to get from here to there? I don't know. You don't have to know. You don't have to know. I'm going to prove it to you in 1 minute. Why? And show you how it can work in your life. But just take the first step. Commit yourself tonight that whatever it is you want to do, write down before you leave the first step you would have to take to make that happen. And I guarantee you, you take that step and you hold the vision, people will start coming into your life. Circumstances will start surrounding you to make you see things you didn't see before. You'll wake up one day and go, it's right in front of me. Why didn't I see this before? Because you were in a different state of mind. You didn't take action. You weren't in control. Now, I'm going to close with a personal story. I knew back then in my life when I was going up through the ranks of business, and I worked so hard. I'd like to be able to stay here longer and tell you all the things about my career, but I worked really hard. I wanted to make it. I thought making it to the top, there was nothing else that mattered in the world. Is that wrong? Yes, that's wrong. A lot of things that matter in the world more than just being at the top of the company. But I worked hard to get there. But I knew that at some point in my life, I wanted to do what I'm doing right now. So I want you to give a round of applause because you're helping me pursue my dreams. So thank you for that. I've talked about being a speaker forever.